again? Bring me a Pepsi! Pepsi! Michael! Goddamn, a Pepsi! All I wanted was a Pepsi! Far from suicidal, I think! Far from suicidal if I want a Pepsi!
Take off your fucking pants and get ready to get spoiled.
Take off your pants and jacket.
Take off your fucking pants.
This is the Cult of Chucky spoiler review where shit goes fucking crazy in this movie, and we're gonna talk about every single bit of it. So we pick up with this movie.
Never let go, Jack.
From Curse of Chucky, which Curse and Cult, I'm gonna get confused. Fuck me in the face. I like falafel. Who's gonna know what to do with you on a Sunday night when you just want bacon for breakfast?
Where's the trigger?
But this movie picks up with the way that that Curse left off. Like the package gets delivered to Andy.
The package. There's a unit in my hand.
Decision. Nika's character from Curse of Chucky picks up in this, and she's in a mental hospital, which we've been here before. You got a lot of horror tie-ins because Nightmare on Elm Street 3. There's a whole lot of people in this mental.
Well, mental asylums are scary anyway.
Yeah, and you got a whole lot of people here to kill. There's a whole lot of characters.
I always think of Halloween 6, and he's angry,
ready to fucking die. She picks up in this dirty ass Dennis Miller looking motherfucker doctor who's creepy from the start, transfers her to a medium security prison because she's basically admitted to the murders. She believes that she did it, and she projected onto Chucky's doll that she did all this shit. They don't stay long here, and thank God, because we've been here before with Andy a million times. Big fucking spoiler, here's what's awesome. The movie starts off with Andy on a date, and he's like, "You fucking Googled me, didn't you?" "Yeah, I was the kid who's had everybody killed by a fucking doll." And the girl's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go."
I would be like, "That's fine. I fucking Facebooked you earlier, and apparently your snatch smells like Hershey cheeses, so fuck you."
Hershey cheeses?
That's a new flavor came out. I heard about it.
That's the new pumpkin spice.
That's the new one.
But you get to see fucking Andy as an adult and what's going on with him in his life, and what's ballsy as shit and from the get-go, entertaining, provocative, it gets the people going, is that it turns out that
was it a 2020 interview? He's like, it was provocative, it was invigorating.
He's got Chucky's head in a safe or a fridge or whatever it is. And he just likes to pull it out, smoke dope in front of it, drink a couple beers, and just hit it with a nail gun. He just likes to masochistically fuck with this fucking Chucky head.
I liked it, and then I kind of felt bad for Chucky, right? Because Chucky, it's just his fucking head, and then he's like, "Hey, let me get a piece of that smoke," and he gives him. He
gives it to him.
Yeah, he lets him smoke some dope with him, and I guess I was like, well, maybe they're friends. Like it's like you're that crazy uncle that comes over and nobody invites you, but you get drunk and you say mean things. But I'll hang out with you. I wanted to know though, he's smoking that joint. I mean, he Bill Clinton did, because I mean, how did he inhale? He has no lungs.
That's what I was thinking too. It's like, where's it go?
It must be contact.
Where's it all go? But yeah, I mean, sometimes when football's not on and you're in that dark period between the end of March Madness and the start of the NFL season, there's nothing to do but blowtorch the doll who cursed you as a child's head.
When life gives you lemons,
you gotta fuck those lemons. That's just, it's such a cool idea, man. Like, it's so ballsy. Like, these movies, typically they want to take this character and they make him a hero and an aw shucks, gee, I'm a perfect kind of guy. Chucky's franchise is straight to DVD. It don't give a shit.
Well,
it's gonna make Andy kind of fucking dark.
And that makes sense. Andy would be fucked up at this point. I mean, it's actually more realistic to think about it that way. Like, Andy wouldn't be like a wholesome, like, fucking stockbroker on Wall Street. He'd be doing that. He's living out in a goddamn forest cabin somewhere and fucking
trying to get laid on Tinder.
Trying to get laid on Tinder.
And it's not working.
And getting struck down because of goddamn Google.
And dude, Don Mancini can film a movie.
He looked good.
He knows how to direct a movie. Curse looked good. It had its problems, but this movie looks just like Curse. It has that good look to it. It has that good, slow, creepy feel to it. But when you go from his character, you find out what's going on with him, into this crazy fucking storyline with Nika. And it's the same thing we've been through before a little bit, whereas nobody believes the doll's real, but then there's this one crazy bitch who thinks that the doll's her son, who eventually you find out that she smothered to death with a pillow, and then Dennis Miller, the doctor, finds out what's going on.
So you keep calling him Dennis Miller, dude. He just looked like the bad guy out of every vampire movie you've ever seen in your life.
He looks like the only meal he knows how to make is lasagna.
She meets this one dude, they call him
Multiple Malcolm.
Malcolm in the middle. Multiple Malcolm. And Malcolm, obviously, they call him Multiple Malcolm because he's got a multiple personality sort of. However, you don't know this.
You're not the boss of me now.
You don't know this, though.
You're not the... Sorry.
That's a great song.
Malcolm in the middle.
But, you don't find out until later that he has this, or she does anyway. Within meeting him, within 10 minutes, she's getting fucked on her wheelchair by this guy. So one of those personalities got major game.
Can I just be honest?
What? You're gay.
No, it's hot.
What?
It was hot.
What was hot? The fucking on the wheelchair?
The wheelchair sex. Is that weird?
But unfortunately, he can't keep, he's always introducing himself every day, so he forgets, so he would never remember that awesome sex. We also get reintroduced to Jennifer Tilly. She comes on board. I'm smoking hot still. And she is
can't stop that sex.
She has taken over as guardian of Alice, the girl that was one of the survivors from Curse of Chucky, and she just shows up to tell little Miss Thang that Alice is dead. She's dead. She was like, "Oh, she's dead." And it's just like, what? And then the therapist was like, "You could have told me, Jesus Christ, give me a moment."
And she brings a doll. She brings
a
by the way,
Chucky
I have
doll.
a Chucky doll,
But
which
that's
is like
what
the
that
thing
shit
you're most afraid
therapist-
of in life.
Well, the first time you even see it, besides the Chucky head, the first time you see a fully restored Chucky doll, is the therapist brings it out. You're like, you're fucking smart. I guess for shock treatment. I mean, they've already shocked her brain, so why not?
That guy's a class A dick.
And then it was funny. I was like, where did you even get that? He was like, Hot Topics.
That was funny.
I was like, oh, how much did they pay for him? But yeah, so then we get a second Chucky doll after Jennifer Tilly drops it off. And of course, Chucky is alive and well, and that kind of throws you off. That's when it starts getting like, what the fuck is going on here?
Am I in Tijuana?
What's going on in sunny Philadelphia? Yeah, what fucking somewhere? What's going on? But what you find out later is that Chucky is able to transfer his souls to multiple dolls. Like, it's not just one. And then Andy is finding out about these, because once people start dying, he, reads on, I don't know, fucking PerezHealth.com.
The quick Walmart version of it is really just that. I mean, Chucky somehow, in the midst of all this shit going on, has figured out, and he even says it, he was like, I decided to research online and I found a Voodoo for Dummies book. And basically, what I've been trying to do for multiple movies, which is just get inside of fucking Andy.
You've been doing
that? I didn't mean this.
I knew it was
that sounded wrong. But all he's wanted to do is fucking Brad Dourif wanted to possess Andy's soul. But basically, he used Google, as you do today in this world, and he figured out just a quick sim salabim fucking thing that you could do to people, and then he could possess anything.
What kind of fucking keyboard do you use?
He could fucking headbutt for space bar.
I thought that was like Doctor Strange shit. You're like fucking Agamotto.
So that's basically what he did. He was a sim salabim. He could possess anybody at the drop of a hat and make multiple versions of himself, which is loose. But Don Mancini did say if this does well, he'll explain it better in further movies.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like the idea that there are multiple Chuckies and that he can spread himself out Harry Potter style and have his soul split up, which is, I guess, what they're doing.
It's for the sake of time. That's what ends up happening. There ends up being at least 3 Chuckies.
And then the Sorting Hat
fucking mental
the Sorting Hat comes in and puts him in Slytherin. Fuck. And now he's really a bad guy. That's very funny.
There's some good kills though in between all this and like this progression of the story, which is really fun. Which is there's multiple Chuckies and they talk to each other. And like, remember that time I killed this one chick? It's fucking awesome.
I like the part where they're all standing around after they get one of these gruesome kills on one of the orderlies. Like, they all stab him. One scene, he pops him in the fucking guts, and you see guts come out with like
slowly,
steam, like steamy. He had like fucking like Indian food. Like, there's no way your guts would be steaming that way. That would have been a nasty shit. So they probably saved him from the toilet. But yeah, they were all talking. Like, I'm gonna go kill Andy. He's like, no, I've had it. He goes, you got to suck tit today. He's like, you've had it easy. And he's like, look at my fucking hair. He's like, you're absolutely right. He's like, go kill the shit out of him.
They're fucking hilarious. Chucky stays Chucky, and now you have 3 of them. It's batshit. It's wild. It fucks with the lore. Some people are gonna get upset, but it's just so fucking entertaining.
You know what?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, and the creepy part, like, I mean, it's a slasher film, so the creepy atmospheres aren't really. I mean, it's more of just shock value and awesome jump scares.
But there's so many kills.
But the kills are the best. But one of the only scenes I thought, or not, kind of like was creepy, was when she's breastfeeding Chucky and it goes into another room, and then she puts him down to take a nap after he sucked a tit. You see the blood start forming.
That was dark.
Chucky wanted that area a lot hard. Like, he was biting the shit out of it. Which
it was just so in the background.
It was weird, and
it made you feel weird.
And then after that, she goes to, like, you find out what she had done. Like, she smothers him.
Yeah.
And it's like, god damn. Like,
that's where that cool fucking Nightmare 3 storyline comes from. Anytime you put a horror movie in a mental institution, it just fucking works. But, and that's what happens. Basically, there's a bunch of Chuckies running around. They can transfer it. Chucky. Andy smuggles in a Chucky. Because this doctor's so fucked up and weird, and he likes to put strobe lights on and hypnotise his patients.
And they fuck him.
He's been trying to, fuck her in the dark ever since.
And he did fuck her.
And I love this scene of Chucky's character where he comes out and he's going to kill the doctor or whatever, and he's like, fuck, even I'm not that big of a douche.
I know, but I like where he's like, I don't know to kill him or take notes.
It's a fun little line saying, like, there's people who kill people and there's people who rape people, and they're almost fucking worse.
Well, I think
it's just a fun, cool, like, horror movie / hero-esque kind of thing where we look at Michael and Jason and Chucky, where you want to see him kill people. Like, it almost makes Chucky a good guy for just a split second, but not too much.
I think that Chucky was just looking at, like, He's like, fuck. I mean, that's what he said. I don't know if I take notes or if I want to kill him. Like, I have no idea.
Serious dickishness.
But so what you really, the ultimate goal in the entire time of Chucky, besides just splitting his soul up into multiple dolls and keeping himself alive that way so that he can spread the cult. I mean, that's what he even calls it at one point. He's like, welcome to the cult. So he's spreading it out everywhere. And Jennifer Tilly gets involved in this too. And she's even got one of her little dolls too. Is really to get Nika's body. He's not even worried about Andy anymore.
Which there's a plot hole there because it just seems like if you could do this quick voodoo thing, this quick like Sim Salabim thing, like why have you fucked with her for so long? You could have just caught her asleep real quick. Anytime and just been like, I'm inside of you.
I think he had the Joker thing going from Dark Knight. He's like, I just want to because I don't even know what to do if I cut. You know, like he wants to turn somebody evil that was pure and good, and then maybe I don't know yet. Maybe the only way for the voodoo spell to work is for her to give in a little bit, or maybe that's what Dom City said. He'll explain a little bit more. But he does ultimately. That's what Chucky's goal was: is to get inside of her, which is what we all want to do.
Get inside you.
And then after
that, you're begging me to stay.
Edema.
That's what I was saying. Edema.
And then so he does eventually possess the sexiness, and Nika goes out, and she actually looks like him a little bit.
Dude, this is what pisses me
off. Like, what's his name? David, I was going to say David Lee Roth. But,
Brad Dourif.
No, yeah, his character, the serial killer's name.
She's his daughter in real life, so it makes sense. But it's weird. I think this is where people get pissed off about the movie. Like, they fuck with the lore a lot in this, but I think where people get pissed off is where Chucky actually inhabits her at some point in this movie. And she's even doing it's her character, but she can stand now. She's not in the wheelchair any longer, and she's doing the laugh and shit. But they did it in a good way. It was directed well. Like the laugh was mostly off camera. Like you wouldn't actually see her doing the laugh, and she was still enough of her character, and it was weirdly sexy. I don't know why. It just when she got angry and like murderous,
I was like those transvestites.
I'm even more attracted to you than I was before. Maybe that's why I have problems with women. But that's aside the point. But and then Andy has snuck in to this thing by sending this doll in, and he put a gun up inside of the fucking Chucky. So he's in the caged room, and this badass scene, and it's a badass scene because any of us who have been watching these Chucky movies for forever have just been like, A, if Andy was an adult, he would know what to do. B, if that were me, I would just kick the fuck out of that little shit and be done with it. And he does it. You've got this third Chucky or whatever in this room with him. He pulls the gun out of him, he shoots him, and then he just gets on top of him and just stomps the shit out of his face. And the gore is beautiful in that scene.
Halftime.
But the end of Andy though is NECA as Chucky comes around and basically locks him in the NECA. It's a good toy company. Locks him in the room, and that's basically the end of Andy for this storyline.
The whole idea behind why Andy also gets committed to the fucking institute by punching a cop. And I was like, what the hell? It doesn't work that way.
That's loose. Maybe if there's a bad storm outside.
I mean, maybe if you were asking to be put in jail and you hit an officer, you're definitely going to jail.
But
I mean, that's
you're in this specific midway mental institution.
They're gonna be like, yeah, we'll just throw you in a fucking padded room without. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just do that. Fuck it.
Hey,
I mean, I'm drunk.
Fuck it.
So
I'll let that go.
But in that part where he was whooping Chucky's ass, the one thing that I thought was funny with that, the death scene was cool when he finally kills Chucky, but when he's like grabbing him against the wall and pinning him, I thought he was tickling him. Because just the way I thought he was on
he was reaching in.
And then Chucky was like shocked. He was like, what? I thought he was like smiling. But yeah, that was a cool scene. Yeah, Andy's whole shtick though, I don't think that they really gave the all the effort at the end.
So glad he was in this.
Yeah, it was cool that he was in. It was lip service to the fans for sure. And so, anyway, Nika walks out. It's reunited. Has a hot lesbian kiss with Jennifer Tilly. Now it's them.
And you knew it was coming.
Going on the road, but before they go on the road, they've also got the Jennifer Tilly doll in the back too. You see the other two Chucky dolls that didn't die. They all start sitting in place and like waiting. I mean, they're all like. I think that's what he wants to spread his seed around like he's fucking Kobe Bryant. Just spread it everywhere.
Sean Kemp.
Spread that seed. Spread it good. And that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to spread it everywhere and then eventually maybe have a Resident Evil global phenomenon where Chucky's are all over the place.
And it pisses people off because, real quick, I want to mention the movie's got great kills in it. Like just the fucked upness, the darkness, like the badass. I don't give a fuck if it's 2017 or 1995. I'm just going to be dirty and nasty. And thank God for Don Mancini and this franchise for saying, we're going to go direct to DVD, we're going to release this shit on Netflix, and we're just going to do what the fuck they want, because it just makes it so fun. And I gotta say, I think this is the most entertaining, progressive film in the entire Child's Play series. Like, we gave it a 7.5 in our original review of it.
Yeah.
There's plot holes, and there's weird shit that happens. And
but so was every other slasher movie of the 80s, really.
It's just they had the balls to just go and change things. And some things are going to upset you about the lore and what they did.
Oh, the lore, yeah.
Where the movie ends up as basically Chucky is her, and then they drive away, her and Jennifer Tilly drive away. You might say, like, oh my, is the next Chucky going to be humans killing people? It's not going to be.
No,
it's going to be Chucky. They're going to figure out a way to fuck with it and make it what it is. So don't worry. If you can let that shit go, it's just an entertaining-ass movie, and I fucking loved it. And the kills were amazing.
Most likely, they could even expel Chucky from the chick's body, Nika, and she could be, you know, maybe on the revenge path and team up with Andy to take down Chucky for good. I mean, for good. But, you know, at the moment...
for this movie, though, it fucking made it entertaining as shit, and they're gonna have to catch up a little bit. It's kind of like Halloween 5 to Halloween 6. Yeah. They brought in the Man in Black, and yeah, that ended up bad, but that's a different franchise. You can take Chucky a little less seriously and still have fun with it.
It's fun gore, and everybody's having a good time. Bring your kids, bring the family, make the churches come and see this movie. They should screen it everywhere and let people enjoy the goodness of it. And it brings you back to feeling good as a kid and just loving to watch good murder.
My favorite kill, I think, is
Malcolm.
When they had the girl down on the bed and he walks in with that like CO2 or whatever it was,
that was pretty cool.
And he bounces it up into the fucking glass, and then the glass falls and cuts off her head.
And it slow-moed that bitch. It was like slow-mo from Dread.
Yeah, it was bad. And his lines in the movie were fucking great, like the entire time. It was almost like in Jason, I think 7, where Martin was talking to the camera. He's like, some people have a fucked up idea of entertainment. Like, I felt that throughout this whole movie. It was just fun. It was hilarious. It was ballsy. It took things to another level, and I fucking adored it. I loved it.
My favorite, there was two. I did like the Malcolm scene. The Malcolm scene was really bad. I think it was the drill through the back of the eyeball.
Yeah, nasty.
But the other one was really fun.
Nasty Nate,
the one where he put his fucking hand in this bitch's mouth and like knocked her back of her head out, which is crazy that he could even fit it in there to do that. But hey, we'll make do with what we got.
Whatever.
I guess my favorite though is when he was killing the orderly, like I mentioned before, and his guts were, the whole thing just looked, because there was multiple stabbing going on. He's like, did you see the fucking smoke that came out of that bitch? Like, it was just like, oh yeah, it was cool.
I also liked when he was talking to the crazy chick, or the really crazy chick, who was like, are you here right now? He's like, I'm standing in front of you. I'm a fucking doll from the 90s with a knife. And he was like, oh fuck it, you know what? I'm coming back to murder you later, bitch.
And he does. He keeps that promise.
It's fucking awesome. Like, I love this movie, dude. The more we talk about it, the more I love it. Yeah. 7.5, maybe even an 8.0. Comment down below with your all's thoughts on it. Where do you think are you upset that they fucked with the lore so much? Or did you just have a fun time watching a batshit balls out, spread your legs, and tell Texas to watch? Kind of good time.
Don't mess with Texas.
Love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some wham,
fucking say it right. Jesus Christ. One word, Don Mancini, strategery.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did.